Today, we're diving into something you've probably got sitting in your kitchen right now, but it's also being used on the front lines of modern medicine. Let's get into the incredible science behind what we're calling the golden antibiotic. So let's just start with a puzzle. I mean, in this age of high-tech medicine, gene therapy, all of that, why are some of the most advanced hospitals in the world reaching for one of nature's oldest substances to fight our deadliest bacteria?
Okay, here's the critical background. We are facing a massive global crisis because bacteria are evolving way faster than our drugs. You've heard of superbugs, right? Things like MRSA. Well, they're becoming resistant to our most powerful antibiotics. This is turning what used to be common infections into potential death sentences. This is a battle we absolutely cannot afford to lose, and it's forcing scientists to look for some pretty unconventional weapons.
And one of the most promising solutions, believe it or not, is coming from a very, very unexpected place. We're talking about an unlikely cure that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. That's right, we are talking about honey. For most of human history, it was just something sweet, a treat. But modern science is pulling back the curtain and revealing its hidden nature. And when it comes to bacteria, honey is nothing short of a sophisticated chemical weapon. So, how in the world does it work? What makes this simple, natural goo so deadly to microbes? Let's break down honey's secret arsenal. It's pretty amazing. So the first weapon is purely physical. See, honey has an incredibly low water content. This property has a fancy name, the hygroscopic effect, but all it means is that honey acts like a super powerful sponge. When it comes into contact with a bacterial cell, it literally sucks the water right out of it. And this really shows you how it works, step by step. First, the honey touches the bacteria. Then, almost immediately, the dehydration process starts. Water just gets ripped out of that bacterial cell. And the result? Total destruction. The bacterium just shrivels up and is completely neutralized. It's a physical attack. And here's the kicker. Bacteria just can't evolve a resistance to it. All right, weapon number 2 is all about the chemical environment. Honey is naturally acidic with a pH somewhere between 3.2 and 4.5. And this creates this acidic area that is just incredibly hostile to bacteria. They simply can't grow or reproduce in that kind of environment, period. Now, this part is just fascinating. Bees themselves add a special enzyme called glucose oxidase to the nectar. So, when the honey gets diluted just a tiny bit, like from the moisture in a wound, this enzyme kicks into high gear. It starts producing small, steady amounts of hydrogen peroxide. You know, the same disinfectant we all use? It just releases it slowly and continuously right where it's needed the most. Okay, so this modern science is just incredible. But what if I told you there was a clue? A clue to this amazing property written down 1400 years ago. An ancient text that frames honey in a very specific and now a very prescient way. This quote is from the Quran, chapter 16. It describes a drink coming from the bellies of bees. But listen closely, it doesn't call it food or sweetener. It uses a very specific Arabic word, shifa, which translates directly to healing or cure. The really crucial point here is the text's unique choice to classify honey not as food, but as a medicine. Now, as you can imagine, this has sparked a pretty intense debate among scholars. Was this ancient text just writing down common folk wisdom of the time, or was it pointing to a deeper, more specific truth about honey's nature that we are only now rediscovering with all our modern tech? So let's break it down. On one side, you have the skeptic's view, and it's a fair point. They'd say, look, many ancient cultures, Egyptians, Greeks, they knew honey was good for wounds. This was common knowledge. So maybe the text is just repeating a popular remedy. But then you've got the counter-argument, which really focuses on the specificity of the language. While other cultures used honey, their texts usually call it food, a sweetener, an offering to the gods. The Quran, however, specifically singles out its primary property as shifa, healing, and it's this unique, precise claim that is now being validated by modern science, which is turning to medical-grade honey as a last resort treatment. So the argument isn't just that they used it, it's about the precision of that label. So what do you get when you put all the modern science and this fascinating piece of history together? You get a whole new appreciation for honey as, well, essentially a pharmacy in a jar. And listen, this isn't just a historical curiosity. This is happening right now. Today, we have FDA-approved medical-grade honey, like Manuka honey, used as a real treatment in hospitals all over the world. Doctors are putting it on wounds that are resistant to our most powerful drugs. Things like severe burns and chronic diabetic ulcers
often with incredible success.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's a fundamental shift in how we see this stuff. We really have to stop thinking about honey as just a sweetener.
It's a complex, multi-layered substance that is, in every sense of the word, a validated medicine, and it's one that has been sitting on our shelves, waiting for thousands of years.
I think this quote just sums it up perfectly. Nature, through the incredible biology of the bee, built a pharmacy. And for those who look to ancient texts, there's a really compelling argument that a clue was left behind, telling us exactly what it was for. And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If honey's remarkable properties were documented so long ago, only to be fully understood by our most advanced science today, it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other ancient secrets are just waiting for us to rediscover in nature's pharmacy?